Good morning, afternoon, or evening. My name is Adam with the Theory, and welcome to another episode of Adam's Theory. I know I've been away for a while. Over the holidays, there has definitely been a lot going on, especially with a lot of news in the D&D community about certain channels that will be not with us. And to be honest, it caused me to kind of rethink what I wanted to do with this D&D channel and pretty much if this was something that I wanted to do. And to be honest, I love talking about Dungeons and Dragons from a player's perspective. I just got into the game, and there's still a lot of things that I want to. I'm still trying to learn and want to actually experience. And I'm using this channel to pretty much share with you all my experience. So that way, we can all share learning to play D&D together and some of the things that I learning from it. I mean, I'm not an expert at it. I'm just a guy that likes playing D&D and want to go and just talk about Dungeons and Dragons with you all. All right. So in this video, I wanted to talk about low level campaigns and why, honestly, I love it. I really do. Now, low level campaigns, I think it's levels between levels 1 and 5. And I do feel that some of the greatest Dungeons and Dragons moments have been at those levels. Even as I become a more experienced player and start wanting to, play higher level games with more powerful spells and different magic items, I always go back to the low level games because that is where I found my love for Dungeons and Dragons. And so I wanted to talk about that with you all. So, one of the things that I really do love about um, Dungeons and Dragons at this level is the fact that it's very simple. Okay, it's simple at level between levels 1 through 5. Okay, when you start at level 1, you practically have you don't really have much. Okay, you have one attack, you probably have a few spells, and because it's very simple, it forces you as a player and as the team to focus on the other aspects of Dungeons and Dragons, which is the role playing. Okay, like at level 1 spells are you got a fireball, you may have guidance, you may have blast, low bread and butter spells. So kind of forces you to kind of think outside of the character sheet, which I love. All right. So one of the things is that at low level, because like if you're a wizard and you start out as, you probably got 6 or 7 hit points, or you're a fighter that I don't even think you may not have your action surge yet, so you can only really attack once. You gotta be think creative of how you actually deal with certain conflicts. All right. The Lost Mines is a perfect example of this. Okay. If you haven't played the Lost Mines, I think as a D&D player, you have to. Okay. I have a hate love for that module, but I think it is the best module for a beginner player. And the part that the Lost Mines is famous with is the Goblin ambush. Okay. And it's famous because a lot of players have lost their characters in that ambush. One well timed arrow when you wasn't looking, or you get ambushed with it, could take your character out. So it forces you to, as a player, you have to be very creative in some of how you decide to fight an enemy. All right, like I had a game where we some I guess goblins and orcs captured people from the village and they put them in a cave. And I guess we all kind of wanted to fight them, but we wasn't strong enough to fight all those creatures. So we had to think of another way to actually try to draw some of them out to thin their numbers. And one of the players had an idea of let's smoke them out. Let's make a fire, get some smoke to cause some of the goblins to come out, and then we could try to take them out there. So at low levels, it really does forces you as a player to really work with each other, work with the party, work with the team. All right. Another thing is that at low levels, when you make a level one character, after you make the character, you start thinking of the backstory. Now, here is a pro tip: make your character, then do the character sheet. Because sometimes I notice that as a player, I draw my character and then I try to make my backstory around my character sheet, which was causing me to have some problems in my in me writing a character. So the trick that I learned is I write my character first, write the backstory, and then after I write the backstory, then I start rolling for my stats and picking out the class, background, and everything. So I make my character around my backstory. I think that's I think to me is a more effective way to do it. Now, once you have your backstory, I think at low level you you have more opportunity to really explore it. Like, why did your character decide to become a fighter? Why did your wizard decide to study magic? These are questions that I feel like at low levels you have more opportunities to explore because you don't have too much on your character sheet. Your wizard doesn't spell book doesn't have pages of spells. So you have an opportunity to kind of, well, develop your character even more. All right. Also, at low levels, and this is my advice to you players, is when when you have an opportunity to take a short and long rest, don't hurry that up to kind of go in. All right, I just want to go and get some hit points back and get a spell, a slot back or two. No, take that opportunity to build in the party. Okay? Talk like that's an opportunity for your paladin to talk to the rogue and tell and why and have a conversation of why the rogue did what he or she did. All right, why the warlock is, who was the warlock talking to when they was in the shop. This gives you an take when you're in a short or long rest, take that opportunity to do the role play. Okay, there's three aspects of D&D: exploring dungeons, having some combat, and role playing, especially role playing amongst each other. All right, role play is the meat. It's the spice of a party. It makes it so it adds flavor to it. All right. This weekend, I had a opportunity to play my first session within a group, and I was playing the barbarian, and we went and we just defeated a cultist. My barbarian has a reputation that's very important to him. So he's like, okay, I'm gonna let the cultist go, but I want to break his arm. We had our paladin with us that wasn't cool with him, and he pretty much not only let the cultist go, but also gave him some money. This caused a little bit of a conflict, and we had an argument about it. And after the session, we spoke about that even more because now we kind of understand where our character stands on certain things, on certain issues, and how that's going to play out in the future. So that is something that in the next session, when we have an opportunity to do a short or long rest, our characters are going to talk about. And we're going to continue to build off that from each other, which is something I love, which is Unfortunately, at higher levels, you sometimes don't get the opportunity to do that. All right. Low level D&D, it's just you and the character. It's not about the spells. It's not about all the magic items that you got to do. It's your character and the party and how they interact with each other. And that interaction will make any combat that you have that much more meaningful. Okay? So if something was to happen to your character, it wouldn't feel empty. The weight of your character's absence will be felt. And that's one of the reasons why like I just love low level games because it allows me to build up build my character, you know. I usually, when I start with a level one character, I try to keep it real simple. And as the sessions go, I build off on that. Okay. Little by little, I build off on it. And I, I build my character around the party as well, my relationships around the party, and what we have done or what we could not have done. All right. It's always good trying to go in, we got a little bit of gold and we're trying to pool our gold together and everything for us to buy a potion and deciding who to give that potion to just in case, hey, all right, well, you hold the potion that so that way if you go down, we got one for you. Hey, I'm going to be the tank. I'm going to be in the front line. My job is, make sure that you're good. Boom, boom. And I think at low level, you have those discussions a lot more. At the higher levels, we're pretty much got the powers to warp reality, so those conversations don't really come up too often. So I just wanted to do a little short video about this, about low level parties and pretty much my love for it. I'm actually going to be doing I'm gonna try to do more videos. I said, like I did one video a week last year, which was good. It wasn't bad. But I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to crank out a couple more videos. I'm gonna try to do a video Monday and Wednesday, 2 videos a week. Give you guys something to talk about. I'm gonna be more consistent with my videos, with more topics to talk about. And yes, let's have a discussion. Tell me why you like low level campaigns. Why do you like starting at your low level? What's your best experience at low level? Do you remember your first character? Let's talk about it in the comment section, okay? As I said, my name is Adam with the Theory. Let's keep rolling some dice.